Hello, Math 142. We are trying to find an equation for the hyperbola that has foci 0 plus and minus 10 and vertices 0 plus and minus 8. And what does that mean? That means that if this is x and this is my y-axis, then the vertices are at positive 8, negative 8, and the foci are at positive 10 and negative 10. So my hyperbola is looking something like this. The general shape is this. So what is the general format of this hyperbola is y to the second over a to the second minus x to the second over b to the second equals 1. Okay. And notice that since the problem is telling me that these vertices are at 0 plus and minus 8, that means that this a right here, a equals 8. And what else do we know? We also know that the value of c equals 10, okay, from there. So I can use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And so a squared is going to be 64 plus b squared, I don't know what that is, I'm trying to find out, equals 10 squared is going to be 100. So there, this tells me that b squared equals 100 minus 64 is 36. So now that I have 36, okay, so I'm ready to just, let me give myself just a little bit room in here. And so the final answer is going to be y to the second over 64 plus x to the second over 36 equals 1. So once again, if you do a general drawing for yourself, these problems are going to be making much more sense. Let me go to the next page. Let's do another one. How about find an equation for the hyperbola? So find an equation for the hyperbola. This time I have foci with foci at plus and minus 2, 0, and actually plus and minus 6, 0. Sorry about that, plus and minus 6, 0. And vertices at plus and minus 2, comma 0. And first thing I'm going to do for myself, I'm going to do a sketch, just a rough. So if this is x and this is y, notice that the vertices are as plus and minus 2, comma 0. So let's say if 2 is here and negative 2 is here, and the foci are at 6, so and negative 6. So let's say somewhere in here and somewhere in here, roughly. So my hyperbola is going to be looking like this. The general shape is going to be looking like that. And I know that I'm going to be the general format of this hyperbola is x to the second over a to the second minus y to the second over b to the second equals 1. Okay, what is it that we know? Look at here. I know a equals 2. What else I know from here? I know that c equals 6. So using the relation that b squared, let me rewrite this again as uh, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I can say that b squared should equal c squared minus a squared. So b squared equals, the value of c is 6, so b squared must be 36 minus value of a is 2. 2 squared is 4, so b squared equals 32. So my final answer is going to be x to the second over 4 minus y to the second over b to the second. So that's, I'm going to put 32 equals 1. And let's do one last one. Go to the next page. Something just a little bit harder. This time we find an equation for the hyperbola. Find an equation for the hyperbola with vertices 0 plus and minus 6, 0 plus and minus 6. So this one has the vertices on the y-axis. It's, so it's opening up and down. What else do we know? It's also an asymptotes y equals plus and minus 1/3 x. Okay, let me do a little bit better with my handwriting. y equals plus and minus 1/3 x. Okay, so if this is the x and this is the y, just general sketch, I have the vertices at 6, at -6, and so I know this is going to, hyperbola is going this way and this way. And what else do we know? I know that the equation of the asymptotes, okay, so that's something like this for 1/3 x and something like minus 1/3 x, so suppose something like this. Okay, interesting. So first I'm going to say that the general format of this hyperbola is going to be y to the second over a to the second minus b minus x to the second over b to the second must equal 1. Okay. So what information can I squeeze from these two asymptotes? I know that the one that is going up is 1/3 x, or y equals 1/3 x. The one that is going down is y equals minus 1/3 x. And remember that when we did our reference box for a hyperbola, let's say just theoretically some reference box that we did for our hyperbola, we used the relation of rise over run. Okay, so in this case, I know that the slope is 1/3, so I know m equals 1/3. Okay, for this asymptote. Okay. What does that mean? That means that And I know also that m equals a over b. So here I know that m, I have that as 1/3 equals, what else do I know? Oh, look at here. The value of a is right here. The value of a is 6. It's given to me. So 6 over b. And from here, if I use, let's say, if I solve for b, I get b equals 18. B equals 18. So let me give myself just a little bit more room in here. So I'm going to let me put a line through here so it doesn't things doesn't get mixed. So I have y to the second over a to the second, and a I'm getting it from here. A, if a is 6, then a squared must be 36 minus x to the second over, we found that b is 18. 18 times 18, 324. 324 equals 1. Let me double check. I have my calculator right here. 18 to the second equals 324. That's right. Okay. Okay. Um, I'll do more example in a different video. Thank you.